You're looking live at beautiful Atlanta, Georgia for this Week 1 SFL matchup. Today, we welcome the Albuquerque Atoms to the Major League where the big boys play as they take on the Atlanta Swarm. The excitement inside the Hive is buzzing, and we can't wait for today's game. Hello, everyone. Cameron Duty here alongside my buddy Wade Phillips. Wade, let's get started. Albuquerque comes into this game with a lot of excitement surrounding this young franchise, and they want to set the tone with an opening day W. But Atlanta looking to build off of a 6-6 record, which earned them a playoff berth. So what are your thoughts on this exciting matchup?
Well, to me, it's going to be a matchup between an older squad with a little more experience in Atlanta versus Albuquerque, who sports quite a few rookies on their roster. And this is actually going to be somewhat of a bit of a grudge match with quite a few Albuquerque Atoms formerly playing for the Atlanta Swarm. So we'll get to see quite a bit of that, and it'll be a matchup between two quarterbacks that need to stay on their feet and try to pick out some open targets and avoid any costly turnovers.
This is an exciting time to be a SFL fan, folks. The convention going on this weekend, and I just want to say it right here. Get your popcorn ready, grab a snack. You're not going anywhere for the next hour and a half or so. The kickoff is underway. Season 23, ready to go here in Atlanta, and a great return right off the bat. Look at this, still on his feet. Can he go the whole way? Down to the Albuquerque 40-yard line is Muhammad, and you talk about setting a tone, Wade. What about that kickoff return?
Yeah, how about that? That sets them up in beautiful field position, and now that makes the offense's job that much easy. And now he just takes an opening on the left-hand side of the defense of special teams, and right there makes a man miss and keeps on running. Luckily for Albuquerque, one of the special teams cover unit gets there, brings him down, but hey, they set up in wonderful field position on the Albuquerque 40-yard line.
We will say hello to this Atlanta offense as this drive progresses. Quarterback number 3, Bryant Dynasty, in his 9th season in the league, his 9th with Atlanta. He sets up under center. 1st and 10, as we said, already in enemy territory at the 40-yard line. They will go to the air, pressure coming. He steps in, he unloads, the pass is complete to Fox. High wind, touchdown, Atlanta. Can you believe it? One play, one touchdown.
And that was just a fantastic drive by Atlanta. It took 2 plays overall. One was a return, the other was one pass down the field to Fox High wind and just goes into the end zone. Just beautiful play. Could not have written that drive any better for Atlanta. It was a pitch perfect drive.
High wind in his first play with his new team. He comes over. As we mentioned, he has 8 seasons in the league, a previous All-Star, as the extra point by Sammy Steele is good. So his first play from scrimmage is a touchdown. He totally got the best of TJ Frosty, who was in coverage at that time. Let's take a breath and let's reset. Atlanta already leading by 7 points with just 16 seconds off the clock in this game. And Albuquerque will get a chance to return this. They'll take the knee, and we'll say hello to them. So I promise we will say hello to that Atlanta offense next series. Let's say hello to the Albuquerque offense as we begin with quarterback Cyrus Jive, number 7. The halfbacks Craig Reynolds and Jason Williams. The fullback Justin Williams. And the wide receivers are Ronnie Shanahan, Michael Knight, Greg Corky, and Kay Marion. The tight end is Jack Wall. And on the line, you've got the tackle Queen Porter and guard Leah Williams. 1st and 10 for this fresh new franchise, the Albuquerque Atoms. You know them for the SFL minor leagues. And here they are in the majors. 1st and 10, the throw over the middle is incomplete, intended for Jack Wall, who we will mention coming over from the Canton Classics. That's a big-time target. Take a look at this Atlanta defense. The defensive ends of Wolf High Wind and Aiden Texera. The linebackers Bernard Smith, Jeff Spicoli, and Aquantis Shine. Cornerbacks Nathan Burnett and Jay Miraculous. And then the safeties, Moose Papineau, Grant Hardaway, and Chris Henry. 2nd and 10. Again, they go to the air. The pressure coming. Jive is down. A fantastic play by Bernard Smith to get in, and his first snaps on the defensive end for Atlanta, he gets a sack.
And the rush pass rush was all over the quarterback right there. They brought at least 6 or 7 defensive players on the blitz, and it eventually got to the quarterback. Cyrus Jive just had no time to do anything except get taken down.
So 3rd and 15, the first play an incompletion, the second a sack for a loss of 5 yards. A man in motion this time, that is Ronnie Shanahan, the rookie. To the air again they go. Cyrus Jive drops back to pass. The throw is deep. The pass wide open, and a great conversion and a reception by Kay Marion, who is also making her debut with the Albuquerque Adams as she spent a lot of time in Atlanta. We'll get to that too, Wade. A lot of players coming over from Atlanta.
That's right, and that's one of the first to come back and bite him right there. And that time, Cyrus Jive had quite a bit of time back there to throw, and kind of surveyed the field and finally saw what he liked and threw it and got the big play.
6 players previously from Atlanta now reside here in the Albuquerque Adams roster. That pass, a little drop off to the fullback Justin Williams, a gain of 2. But yeah, let's talk about that. Wade, like I said, 6 players from Atlanta have came over to now make Albuquerque their new home.
That's right, 2 offense and 4 defensive players, and yeah, it's some familiar faces for this Atlanta team.
Jason Williams, for example, the halfback who spent 12 seasons in Atlanta, a 2-time All-Star, now makes his home with the Adams, and that, I believe, was Williams on the carry, who gets 2 3rd and 6 coming up.
And not much going right now in the run game so far, but if they can string together a few decent yardage plays on the run game, that'll definitely open up the passing lanes.
Forced with a 3rd down again. They did a very nice job of the conversion to Kay Marion, and as you see Marion, she goes in motion to the bottom of your screen. 1 receiver to the top, 2 to the bottom. Good protection this time, and then the drop off. The pass is complete to Justin Williams for the first down out of the backfield.
Yeah, and big 6'4", 260 Justin Williams out of the backfield caught that and took off. Got some really decent yardage and shook a bit of a tackle, but eventually was corralled. But in the end, picked up the big first down, and now Albuquerque continues to drive down the field, and we'll see if their first offensive drive of their franchise pays off.
Jive to throw over the head of the intended target. We may get interference on that, as I could see a little extracurricular activity going on. We'll see what the ref calls here. And they do get Atlanta for defensive pass interference. Nathan Barnett, let's take a look at the replay.
Yep. Just impeded him a little too much. You got to let him have that kind of running path. But in the end, 1st and 10, and now Albuquerque continues to chip away at this yardage.
Folks, this is the time in the game we'd like to give you stats about the team, about the previous season record, about things they want to improve upon, players to watch for. This is a clean slate, though, with Albuquerque. Folks, we don't know what to expect. So we're excited to see as they start to make their own history here in the SFL. That gain by Williams is a 1-yard run, 2nd and 9 now coming up as we approach 7 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
And that time it was Jason Williams with the carry, only a 1-yard gain, so they look to improve that.
This pass, again, over the middle. It is bobbled, and nice defensive coverage by Aquantis Shine, who one of the longest tenured members of this Atlanta Swarm, Wade.
Absolutely. 17 seasons in the league, 15 all with Atlanta, and makes him a 6th-season All-Star as well. Back in season 18 was the last time.
3rd and 9, where Albuquerque has certainly thrived. Again, Jive now going to stand up and try to run for the first down. He gets thrown to the ground by Grant Hardaway. Nobody was open downfield. Kind of surprised that Jive bailed on the play as quick as he did.
That's right. And I will call that maybe a 1-yard gain, no gain something. But, in the end, it forces a 4th and 8. And that's one thing that that bears mentioning is Albuquerque does not have a contract kicker on this field.
That's exactly right. Great point, Wade. No contract kicker, so where you may try to see a couple of long field goal attempts, from most teams that do have a contract kicker, you will not hear with Albuquerque, as that is something that's part of the building blocks of the team that they continue to build upon. That was Buzz Killington with the punt. So Atlanta will start over for their second drive, a 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. And as I promised earlier, we will say hello to this Atlanta offense after this play if it doesn't go for a touchdown. The run left side to the halfback, BDG Hollywood, and that's where we'll pick up with the lineup. Bryant Dynasty at quarterback, BDG Hollywood, as we mentioned, at halfback, the fullback, Mitchell O'Brien, and then the wide receivers, Fox Highwind, Siege Falco, and Boo Chisholm. At tight end, it's Why Not Arrowlet. The tackle is Carter Hollywood, and the guard, Sam Falco, and the center, Astro Smith. Another short gain, a 3rd and 6 coming up. The Albuquerque defense certainly looking a lot more tightened up than when we've seen them on the field previously.
Absolutely. That time, Jonathan Reese took the handoff, number 37. Only a gain of a few, but now they're wide open with that backfield.
3rd and 6 for the Swarm. Pressure coming around the side, and he gets rid of it. Dynasty just able to unload there before getting a sack. Good pressure by Albuquerque. It's 4th and 6. Let's credit that defense. Defensive end Chris Porter. The defensive tackles Leo Jefferson and Joshua Williams. The linebackers Seth Berlin, Keenan Samuels, and William Patterson. The cornerbacks Amar Bryant Jr. and Daniel Valentine. The safeties TJ Frosty, Jack Napier, and Bryant James. Ben Miller on the punt, as it's fielded at the 33-yard line. And that is, again, where Albuquerque will take over. So a short drive that time. You saw the big burst early in the game with the early touchdown for Atlanta Wade, and then now you've seen a 3-and-out forced by this Albuquerque defense.
Absolutely, and we want to see more of that from Albuquerque's defense. Atlanta really wants to repeat that first drive.
1st and 10 job. Under center, he hands it off to Williams, who gets a gain of 5, and a really good run right there to start this game, or this drive, this series. A good tempo setter, which is something I think Albuquerque is really going to need. We talked about that before we went on the air today.
Absolutely. They've got to lean on their run game to really take a lot of that pressure off Cyrus Jive.
Jive comes into this game with over 80 interceptions in his young career that he has been with Portland. That time, a good defensive effort. Nowhere to go as Bernard Smith brings down the halfback. That is Craig Reynolds, who barely gets back to the line of scrimmage.
That's right. Played with Portland Fleet, Leonard did, and 99 tackles last season, 6 for tackle for a loss. So really flies around the field making plays.
3rd and 5, and again, folks, pay attention, number 89, Kay Marion, who has come over from Atlanta, so playing on her old home turf. Pressure coming, Jive unloads the pass in and out of the hands of the intended target. A lot of physicality and a lot of traffic there that was intended for Michael Knight, but in the end, it's Chris Henry who gets the better of that play.
Yeah, excellent play by the defensive back. Michael Knight's a huge target at 6'4", 220, and right there they made him work for all of that play and just in the end couldn't get it done.
Killington now to punt, and this is a good punt. Fielded at the 25-yard line, and they will start at the 31. So 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this first quarter. And so, again, if you're new to the Simulation Football League, we want to say welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career, or if you want to just meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field, it is never too late to get involved. Atlanta looking to get involved and try to extend their 7-point lead as Hollywood into the field here on play number 1 of that drive. 2nd and 7 now coming up. Let's talk about this, Wade. You mentioned this, BDG Hollywood. It's not a two-headed tandem in the backfield for Atlanta, so they're going to hope that he can stay protected.
That's absolutely right. They've only got BDG as their bell cow, and they really need him to stay upright as much as he can all season.
Keenan Samuels on that tackle. Hollywood goes nowhere, and so a 3rd and 7 coming up, and What a great resiliency that Albuquerque is showing after giving up the big touchdown early on in this game. They have since made it very difficult for Atlanta to move the football. Man in motion for the Swarm. That is Boo Chisholm. Pressure coming. Dynasty throws. The pass is complete to Chisholm. And that is why that man is a 4-time All-Star.
That's absolutely right. Got in there, 6'4", 210, huge frame. Got it on the post route. Caught it right in the face of two defenders. It looked like Albuquerque had two defensive backs back there just waiting to jump that route. But in the end, Boo Chisholm caught it, brought it down, picks up the first down.
Boo Chisholm, 16 seasons in the Simulation Football League, all 16 here in the ATL. Dynasty to throw, the pass again complete over the middle. Highwind with the reception, and now we start to see Bryant Dynasty getting back into a rhythm.
Absolutely. We really would like to see Albuquerque put some pressure on Dynasty to force him into some bad throws, because that's really been his kryptonite. When he's got those happy feet, he can sometimes throw it errantly, but that time, no, sir. Fox Highwind caught it, picked up another first down, 2 receptions, 53 yards and a touchdown for Highwind today.
It's a pretty good day, if I do say so myself, and we haven't even made it through the first quarter. Hollywood now with the carry, a good run upfield, 6 yards. Again, you talk about a good tempo setter. That's one thing that you look for with Atlanta, getting the run game going. That'll open up the passing game.
Absolutely. And they don't have that backup running back to spell Hollywood, so we'll see if they lean on their fullback maybe a little bit or just stick to that backup running back.
2nd and 4, Atlanta coming off a 6-6 season that took them to the postseason before they just fell short in the opening round. Now, that handoff goes to, as we mentioned, the secondary halfback, who we will see from time and time again. That's Jonathan Reese.
Yeah, right there. Got just enough yards to pick up the first down. To me, looked just a hair short, but hey, they'll give it the first down, and now they got a nice 1st and 10.
So we will not see a Retroid challenge on the spot of that play. And now Hollywood busting through the lanes, a 5-yard gain, and that's the kind of speed that you expect from this, again, 5-time All-Star and Hall of Famer.
Absolutely. Just the north-south running by BDG is just phenomenal. He wastes no time, just shoots through the hole and picks up as many yards as he can before contact. Sometimes shakes off that first one. That time, not so much.
Under a minute remaining in this first quarter of play. This run, a nice run and a stiff arm there by Reese once more, who we see getting more of the carries on this side of the field inside the red zone.
Yeah, maybe they're resting BDG just a little bit, and now, looks like they might be in run formation, but so far the run's been working on this drive.
1st and goal for the Atlanta Swarm. They keep it on the ground with Hollywood. The defense trying to dig in and stop, make something happen here for this Albuquerque Adams defense. They would love to negate Atlanta to just a field goal attempt.
Absolutely. That time Barnett was in there for the tackle, but Atlanta really wants to get a touchdown right here, and they can feel it.
Hollywood to the end zone, and he fumbles. He fumbles the football on the goal line, and it is picked up by the Albuquerque Adams. Jack Napier with the recovery. I cannot believe what we have just seen.
Absolutely. Just laid the wood. Here it comes. Boom. And then 21 comes in. Jack Napier lays a hand on the ball and forces the fumble on the inch-yard line. They pick it up and return it a few yards to set up a first down on the Albuquerque 4. So heads-up play by the defense to come through in the clutch.
Jack Napier, the rookie, makes the hit, and TJ Frosty picks it up, and it is 1st and 10 on the 4-yard line. Albuquerque could have really saved themselves a lot of trouble with that play. The handoff this time goes back to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 10, and that also brings us to the end of quarter number 1, game 1 of this 2024 season 23 here in the SFL. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Cameron Duty here with Wade Phillips, Cameron Irvine in the production truck, again providing great stats, and great music as well, folks. If you haven't noticed, a fresh new sound to the SFL broadcast, sounding good and looking good as we get set for this second quarter here from Atlanta. Albuquerque, not much room for error. It's second down. They need to get the football down the field. Cyrus Jive, the throw pressure is coming in and out of the hands of the intended target with, again, great defensive coverage by Atlanta.
Yeah, and the defense swarmed to the ball right there and did not let Jack Wall even get close to catching that ball. So great defense by the Atlanta defense responding, but Albuquerque needs something to hit right here on 3rd and 10.
The Albuquerque defense did its job. They come up with a big stop to get the ball back on the goal line, and instead Albuquerque has to play it safe on 3rd down, and that run does go nowhere. It is a tackle at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 9 now coming up.
And Buzz Killington's going to be backed all the way back to the end zone line and going to see where this ball lands.
Killington in the bottom left of your screen, as you could see there right next to our camera. He doesn't even have an opportunity to get it. Oh my goodness, past the midfield. Going the other way now is Siege Falco. You talk about these returns by this Atlanta Swarm team. They're poised to run one all the way back today.
Absolutely. This coaching staff has this special teams unit coached up completely today. And that time, Siege Falco took it 36 yards, it looked like. And wow, just what a return. It was a short punt to begin with, but then to set yourself up on Albuquerque's 13-yard line. Now, they've got to wipe off the mistakes from last drive where they turned it over inside the 5-yard line. So we'll see if they have a short memory right here and maybe hit pay dirt.
Now Atlanta, as we said, in the red zone once more. Hollywood with the carry, looking to make up for that fumble that happened right around the goal line, and he does a good job there of a 5-yard gain on 1st down before being brought down. But yeah, you talk about this. It's really hard to win a football game when you cannot keep the offense, of the Atlanta Swarm out of the red zone.
Absolutely. They've been living in the red zone so far today.
2nd and 5. Bryant Dynasty is under center. 2 men, as you see, in the backfield, and they give it to the halfback. As we said, it's going to be obvious that Jonathan Reese is expected to take a good number of carries down on this side of the field.
Yeah, that time, only 2 yards on the game. Before that, he had picked up some pretty decent gains and picked up some 1st downs, but now it looks like BDG's right back in there, and see what happens.
3rd down. Dynasty to throw to the end zone. The pass is complete in heavy traffic. Why not? Erlet says, why not? Give me 6. Touchdown, Atlanta Swarm.
And there we go. Started off with a touchdown pass. Then it looked like they were going to punch it in with the run last drive, and this time right back at it. But look at that. 2 Atlanta Swarm offensive players in the area. But hey, why not? Took it and scores the touchdown.
You know what? Let's call it. I'm going to call that the Nice Hands Catch, brought to you by Retroid. Put a Retroid handheld in your hands and play the only video game with your player in it, SFL 4K23. I mean, come on. Somehow able to hold on to that football with 2 Albuquerque Adams defenders right there in his face. Touchdown, why not, Airlet? And Atlanta now goes up by 2 scores here in the Hive. Albuquerque will receive this kickoff. Fielded, and it's brought out. Ooh, almost didn't get back to the 20-yard line. Barely not makes it back, as we will see what Albuquerque can do here, Wade. So behind the 8 ball, down 2 scores, you're an expansion team, a brand new franchise to the SFL, at least the major leagues. What do you tell your young team?
I mean, we try to stay balanced. We want to really stay balanced. That way they can't tip their hand on trying to stop us one way or the other.
Keeping it on the ground is a good way to start with Williams, who gets a gain of 6. And you and I talked, as I said before we went on air, that is a key, that keeping Cyrus Jive cool and calm under pressure and keeping the run game going will make things a lot easier for him in the QB department. 2nd and 4 now as 7:50 remains in this first half. Again, keeping it on the ground with Williams, and he's going to get the first down. They're going, or that's Reynolds. Excuse me there. That was Craig Reynolds with the carry, and they're going to say that was enough for the first down.
Yeah, don't see a flag yet to say they want to take another look. Looks like they're going to take it. Yeah, Craig Reynolds took that and rolled into the first yardage, and they'll take it.
Greg Corky, the man in motion. Cyrus Jive once again to throw it. He's going to step up. We've seen him do this. He likes to run. He fumbles the football. It's picked up. Unbelievable. Great concentration by Michael Knight to get the bouncing football off of the turf and continue for the first down.
Yeah, and picked up, probably 2 or 3 more yards after the fumble. So, absolutely great play by Knight to keep his head up and pick up that ball and maintain the first down.
Was that a football or was that just the lateral? I don't know. No, but literally, what a great play indeed. Great heads-up play by Knight, and that sets up Albuquerque with a first down near midfield. Who knows? Maybe that's the break they need, that little bit of luck to get on their side as they move towards midfield.
Absolutely, and so far it's kind of working on this drive. We'll see if it continues Lady Luck on their side.
2nd and 6 now. They keep it on the ground with Reynolds. And he goes nowhere. 3rd and 6 as he is brought down immediately. So an important third down here. You don't want to turn this ball over right here. Down 2 scores. You want to try to get some points on the board. Make sure this thing doesn't get out of hand. Jive throwing out of the backfield. That worked earlier on 3rd down. And again, they convert with that nice toss out of the backfield to Justin Williams, the fullback, for the first down.
Justin Williams is a phenomenal safety valve on this play. Takes it, that's his 3rd reception of the day for 22 yards, and that time picked up the first down, and they needed it because that drive was coming to a screeching halt, and then Justin Williams pulls a bag of tricks out of his hat, and now they got a first down.
1st and 10, and now again, folks, remember they don't have a contract kicker. They want to make sure they can get into comfortable field goal range. 2nd and 5 now complete to Jack Wall. And let's talk about Jack Wall, longtime player of the Canton Classics coming over to Albuquerque and this new startup team this year.
Absolutely. Last season had 50 receptions for 734 yards and 4 touchdowns. And really, Cyrus Jive is definitely going to lean on Jack Wall a lot this season because when you have a reliable safety blanket, you'll just trust in him.
Agreed. The handoff again to Williams. Shakes a tackle. He's seen some daylight, and he's going to get close to the first down. They're going to say he's short by about 2, but that's going to be much more manageable than what it would have been. He kept on trucking.
Yes, indeed. And that time, the first 2 initial hits didn't bring him down, and he just kept trucking and almost looked like he was going to pick up that first down hard yardage.
Credit to Aquantis Shine there with that big-time tackle, and Reynolds is going to be, I thought it was going to be stopped there, or again going to give forward progress to the halfback Craig Reynolds, and there is the challenge. We wondered if we would see it 2 times is enough, says Atlanta, and that's going to bring us to the retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at goretroid.com. Let's go under the hood here.
Initial look, I thought he was short, but we'll see after this little bit. Let's see. Yeah, no, I don't think he has it, but we'll see what the official says.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. Carolina will not be charged with timeout. 4th down.
So Atlanta wins that challenge. They're not charged a timeout, and Albuquerque will come up short on 3rd down. That brings up a 4th and 1, and I tell you what, might not be a bad time to consider going for it here, and they do. Again, no contract kicker. That makes going for it in situations like this that much more possible. 4th and 1, the biggest play of the game thus far for Albuquerque, and Williams somehow bounces off of a defender, tried everything in the world possible to get past the yard marker there, and it's Aquantis Shine who brings him down short of the markers for the first.
That was absolutely a team effort right there by Atlanta to not let Albuquerque get past that first down marker. Aquana Shines just plugged that hole, stopped him, and then we got another defender, number 44, to join in and bring him down.
So Albuquerque goes for it on the 4th and 1 and not able to do it. Instead, it's Atlanta toss play left side to BDG Hollywood. He gets a couple before being brought down by TJ Frosty in his first season after coming over. He was playing with the Chicago Warriors in the SFLM.
Yeah, and they're glad to have him. You know, they look good so far in this early going. We'll see if both those trends continue.
2nd and 9 now on the way. The carry. And Reese gets a couple. 3rd and 4 now coming up. Kind of a new look here for Atlanta, as you said, with BDG Hollywood. They are going with Jonathan Reese in the backfield, something that we weren't sure how they would navigate it, but we now see they do have a two-headed tandem of their own.
Yes, they do, indeed, and it's been effective so far.
So already a couple of early questions being answered, and a wonderful reception over the middle, completed to Siege Falco for the first down. 3:42 remaining in this first half.
And there we go, Siege Falco, old dependable, 12 seasons in the league, all 12 seasons with Atlanta, 4-time All-Star, and that right there went up, high-pointed it, caught it, and maintained the catch through contact. So excellent play, pitch and catch, first down and 10.
Bryant James comes in at the end of that to make the stop after a beautiful reception by Siege Falco. 1st and 10, just past midfield. The give to Hollywood, still on his feet, so elusive, and you could tell the more they feed this man the football, the more, really the quicker he becomes, the more elusive he becomes.
Absolutely. Just feed him the rock and he will continue to pick up yards. And we haven't seen him get involved in the pass game very much so far. 15 receptions last season, but he's been doing all his work on the ground.
Toss play right side. This time they give it to the number 17, Siege Falco once more, the wide receiver who bulldozes ahead for the first down. That's a trend we have seen more and more often coming out of the SFL in years past.
Indeed, and that time, wow, just laid out number 21 right there with the hit and just continued to churn his legs and pick up the first down. So excellent play by Siege Falco, just uncharacteristic aggression by the wide receiver in the run game.
And 1st and 10, 2:30 remaining in this first half. The give again to Hollywood. He squeezes through that hole and gets 6 more, and you're starting to see 5 yards here, 6 yards here. Hollywood's production continuing to go up in this game as we progress.
That's right, and just has been continued to become more efficient each carry he gets, and now it's the backup's turn to spell him for a little bit, and we'll see if they continue on the ground, if they chuck it through the air.
The handoff once more to Reese, who gets the first down and carries a couple of defenders along with him. That's a guy who we're just continuing to learn more and more about as this game goes on. Jonathan Reese, the backup halfback, but he's getting a lot of the carries in today's game.
He is indeed. It's almost, to me, it seems like close to a 50-50 split.
2 minutes to go in the first half here in Atlanta. Comfortably in the lead, 14-0. We welcome you back. Camera duty here with Wade Phillips and Cameron Irvine in the production truck. It is SFL Convention Weekend. Hello to everyone watching, whether you are in Texas or in the comfort of your own home. We thank you for joining us for today's game. Atlanta again on the ground with Hollywood, makes a man miss. What else is new? And a gain of 4 for the first down as the clock continues to run.
And they continue to churn away at this run game. And I have to say, it's a pretty good idea because Bryant Dynasty is an excellent quarterback, but he is prone to turning the ball over. So the more they can lean on BDG, the better I think they'll ultimately be.
And the run again with Reese. It's a positive gain. It's going to be short of the first, though, 3rd and 3. And as we see the clock continuing to run, 1:20 and counting in this first half.
One thing I've been noticing is the backs for Atlanta have been getting great blocks up front and from the fullback so far.
to the end zone, touchdown, Atlanta. Bryant Dynasty connecting with his main man, I guess we'll put it that way, Boo Chisholm, the mainstay here in Atlanta, for the touchdown.
And right there, had time to survey the field, saw an open man in the middle of the field, caught it, brought it down for the touchdown. And that time, the defense just couldn't contain Boo Chisholm. And he once he got that separation, got open, the 16-season man caught it and took it for a touchdown.
With the extra point here, that will extend the lead to 3 scores. And with that, let's call that touchdown reception by Boo Chisholm a breakaway play of the game, brought to you by Breaks GPT, sports memorabilia breakers and collectors. You never know whose autographed helmet or jersey you might hit. Check them out at breakgpt.com. Atlanta now beginning to break away, a 3-score lead as we get ready to approach the halftime here. About a minute and some change remaining in this first half. For Albuquerque, we have to take a look and see what they can do here, Wade. They've got a minute to work with. I feel like you need to try to put some yardage, some points, some sort of rhythm in progression before you go to the lockers.
Absolutely. Open up the playbook, try to throw downfield and, catch them off guard and maybe run some unorthodox plays and just try to, get some magic to happen.
1st and 10 and a man in motion once more. Greg Horkey. They keep it on the ground with Williams. 4-yard gain, 59 seconds and counting. So at the moment, it looks like Albuquerque will be content with just trying to get to halftime and maybe regrouping here.
Absolutely. Maybe the coaches are coming up with a game plan right now and they say just, hey, game manage it right now. The rest of the half, we'll go into the locker room, come up with a game plan. Because I really see no urgency at the moment with how they're running it and the formations.
Letting the play clock run down as well, 10 seconds before they hand it off once more to Reynolds, who does get close to a first down, but it's 3rd and 1. And as again we said, the clock continuing to run, really no urgency, no hurry. And again, that's understood. Your first 2 quarters out as a brand new SFL team, it's certainly not went as planned, but again, like you said, a young team looking to build, and the second half is exactly what they're looking forward to. As we will go into halftime. No, a timeout is called at the very last minute. It looked as if the clock was going to just wind down to 0, but Atlanta instead decides to take a timeout. And hey, why not get another shot at a great return? We've seen a couple almost go to the house today.
Absolutely. We'll see if they can bottle up some magic right now and really end the half strong.
Yeah, and Killington's punt, it goes down to about the 45-yard line is where Siege Falco is able to return that to. Not the return that they were hoping for, trying to maybe, as we said, catch lightning in a bottle there before halftime. Albuquerque's special teams doing a good job there to keep him from running that one back. All right, it's halftime. Atlanta leading by 3 scores, 21-0 over the Albuquerque Adams, but a lot of football left to be played as we welcome you in to the SFL halftime report. Camera duty with Wade Phillips. Wade, give me your thoughts on a first half of action completely dominated by the Swarm.
Absolutely. The Atlanta Swarm really dominated that game, that half, with, starting with their first 2 plays of the day. The special teams opened up with a humongous kickoff return that didn't quite get into the end zone, but hey, they only needed one more play to get Fox Highwind into the end zone. And then Albuquerque held the offense to a 3-and-out the next offensive play drive for Atlanta, but Albuquerque's offense just has not been able to get it going. Bryant Dynasty has, been on fire today and just, hitting everybody that's been open, but Albuquerque needs to, go to the game plan, come up with something that is going to throw a wrench into Atlanta's game plans.
We welcome you back inside the Hive here in Atlanta. An important stat to mention, and you kind of touched up on it as well, Wade. Bryant Dynasty is on fire, over 150 on his QB rating so far today. But another important note, only one in completion thus far in this game. The defense obviously going to have to get more pressure on him. But first, we'll take a look at this Albuquerque offense as they will set up from the 24-yard line. And like you said, right now it's just about getting some positive momentum here.
Absolutely. And you know, they might have to start abandoning that balanced look and just start tossing it around because they are slowly running out of time. It's only down 3 scores, but hey, they got to kick it into gear sometime.
Out of the backfield once again to Williams, who literally does a U-turn, makes the man miss, and somehow Jason Williams, you can tell that he's coming back to Atlanta, the place that he was at for so many years. He wants to put on a good showing for this new team as well as the old fans here.
Absolutely. Give the new fans something to love and the old fans something to remember him by. And right there, great game, picks up the first down, and they're really utilizing both Jason and Justin Williams in the pass game.
First and 10 pressure coming for Jive. Instead, he throws quickly, but he gets that into the tight end, Jack Wall. As we said, Jack Wall coming over from Canton in his first season here at the Albuquerque.
Yeah, right there. Caught it. It was a beautifully set up play design. Got him open in the middle. Caught it. The big 6'7" frame for Jack Wall. Caught it. Shielded the defenders. And then just fell forward for the first down.
I like the change of tempo. Seems like the pace a little bit quicker here for Albuquerque coming out of the halftime break. Cyrus Job back to throw. Pressure coming. He does unload. He gets that one away, and he took a shot.
Yes, he did. He took a shot. He must have heard those footsteps and just tried to get that ball out because it was also a great play on the defensive back to really just bang, bang play at the point of contact and not allowing the receiver to catch the ball.
Cyrus Jive of 56 touchdowns to 81 interceptions coming into today's game. A stat he certainly wants to clean up. One way to do that, of course, protecting the quarterback. He hopes to not end up on his back as much here in Albuquerque as maybe was in Portland. Again, out of the backfield, that's been their bread and butter. Williams will take that screen and run 10-plus yards. It seems like each and every time another first down for the Adams.
Absolutely. They must have seen something in that halftime game plan session that really opened up these swing passes to the running back and fullback that time again. So it's averaging about 15 yards per reception on two catches for 30 yards. So far it's been excellent work by the backfield in the passing game.
And easily the best drive that we have seen out of Albuquerque in this game. Cyrus Job looking a little comfortable. Pass complete to the end zone. Jack Wall getting close. Definitely, I'd say first and goal, maybe just outside the 5. But that is a fantastic play, Wade. Just what they needed and just at the right time.
It was phenomenal. Jack Wall had that corner route, caught it, had some space on the defender, but ultimately Aquante Shine was able to track him down from behind and bring him down inside the red zone. So, 5 thrown to John Wall's side, 3 receptions for 43 yards. He's been quite the target today.
Looked like it was going to be a foot race before Shine got there and, as you said, dragged him down in the backfield. Now, man in motion, Michael Knight going to the top of your screen. Cyrus Jive to throw to the end zone. It is almost intercepted. Their flags all over the place. We'll see what they got. They'll get face mask on Atlanta, number 53, on the defensive side of things. And that's going to set up a first and goal here for Albuquerque.
And that's definitely something Atlanta did not want to see. Some hanky work on, inside the 10-yard line. And now Albuquerque gets phenomenal field position to try to punch it in.
They got Niall Diggs on the penalty, coming off the bench for that play there. He gets the penalty, and take a look at Williams. Oh, so close. I thought he was going to be able to get his way in. They're going to say he's just short of the touchdown, but literally by inches, it's second and goal.
Yeah, I was thinking that exact same thing. He just kept pumping those feet, just churning out those yards, and eventually they brought him down, but excellent play to almost get that touchdown.
Second and goal, and this time give it to Craig Reynolds, who walks in for the first touchdown in Albuquerque Adams SFL history. It goes to you, number 22. The Adams are on the board.
And the rookie gets the first touchdown of his career and the first touchdown of the Albuquerque's franchise. So, and a couple of firsts right there, and that time just caught that ball and just kind of walked into the end zone. The offensive line did an excellent job getting push into the end zone where the running back just had to just not just fall down, basically. Excellent play by Albuquerque.
The snap and the hold. The kick is good. Albuquerque now, as we said, after an 8-play, 73-yard drive, that just took 2 minutes and 35 seconds. And all of a sudden, we have a little life here by the Adams. And a big point to mention, it did just take, Wade, only about 2.5 minutes. As we said, the change in tempo proved very beneficial.
Yes, it did. And I can definitely see that Albuquerque's coaching staff really coached them up at halftime. And really, even in this special teams play, they held them to, only to Atlanta 33, whereas the past few returns have been huge chunk gains. And that time, they really righted the ship so far in the early second half.
Siege Falco there on that return. We've seen him, as we said, break a couple of way. As you said, though, give credit to the Albuquerque special teams for reeling him in. And Atlanta will start on the 33-yard line. So they get a nice little break. Atlanta, they put the touchdown up with about a minute to play left in the first half. And then Albuquerque has had the last two possessions. And so now Atlanta back to work. A beautiful one-handed reception. Fox Highwind. I tell you what, take a look at that. He caught it in stride, one-handed, a thing of beauty.
It was, wow. And just the catch and the throw by Dynasty. Dynasty is just almost perfect today. 3 touchdowns, over 100 yards, just phenomenal day so far. But that time, amazing catch one-handed and to bring it down for the first down.
Going to be crucial for Albuquerque to get pressure on Bryant Dynasty. Only one incompletion this entire game. Now Jonathan Reese with the carry, a gain of 3. But yeah, let's talk about that. No pressure hardly in Dynasty's face. That's a lot of the result of the score we're seeing today.
Yeah, that's right. And they haven't been able to really consistently pressure him so that he's been able to stay upright and find all his receivers with plenty of time to find them.
Atlanta now, again to throw, pressure coming, but he unloads with plenty of time, and he finds a wide open wide receiver. And again, another beautiful reception by Highwind, adjusting his body to bring down the first.
Yeah, absolutely. The corner route caught it. Ooh, and then the defense laid the hit, but Highwind was able to come down with the catch. Look at that, 8 for 9, 135 and 3 touchdowns. Just phenomenal day by Dynasty so far.
Bryant Dynasty and this Atlanta Swarm not content to rest on their laurels. They continue to pound the football. BDG Hollywood making a couple of men drag him 3 or 4 more yards before he's finally brought down. 2nd and inches, and he's feeling good about his opening game of this 23 season.
Yes, he is. So far, they've been able to really get it going on the run game and the pass game in this drive and in this game period. It's just been a really workmanlike day for the Atlanta offense.
Chapter 23 of the SFL. The opening page is being written today here this weekend in Houston at the convention, and of course all around the world with everybody watching. We thank you for taking part in it. We are so excited about what this season has in store. One of those things, we talk about the expansion teams. We're looking at one of them right now. If you're just tuning in, Albuquerque, who trailed by 14, and again using Siege Falco, is Atlanta to get the first down out of the halfback position.
Yeah, an unorthodox, formation for him, but it's like you had mentioned earlier in the day, it's becoming a little bit more of a normal thing to see wide receivers in the running back spot taking carries.
Dynasty to throw. The man cannot be stopped. Touchdown, Fox Highwind once again. And from what we can tell, that's still just one incompletion on the day for Atlanta. What an incredible answer after the Albuquerque touchdown.
Yeah, it was a phenomenal play. It looked like it might have been a fade route, but got separation, and then it was all on from there, just going to the corner of the end zone, and Dynasty had all day to see him, threw it, touchdown, and now Atlanta about to potentially make it 28-7, and Fox Highwind 104 receiving yards to this point in the day.
The extra point by Sammy Steele is good. a six-play, 67-yard drive, which also went for 2 minutes and 35 seconds. So Albuquerque went 2.5 minutes down the field on an 8-yard drive, and then Atlanta says we can do two better than that, and it only took them 6 plays to go 2.5. And an incredible play right there, drive indeed for Atlanta. All right, Wade. Let's put our helmets on figuratively here, so to speak. And your Albuquerque and your Cyrus Jive, your first game with the team. There's going to be struggles. It's an expansion team, as we mentioned, making their foray into the SFL. What are you telling your QB here as you go back out down by 3 once more?
Hey, man, just, got to have a short memory. You've been doing great so far today. No real big glaring things that I see, but just have a short memory. That's the biggest thing. You just got to forget any of those little bad plays and just continue to plug away.
Jason Williams with the carry, a gain of 8, and that's talk about promising. That's a good start to this drive, and I think as we take a look at the history of this game as it is unfolded in front of us, it's the field position was an immediate setback for this Albuquerque team early in this game. Reynolds there maybe gets 2 for the third down coming up. But yeah, let's talk about that. Just how well Atlanta was able to move into enemy territory from the get-go. It set them behind the 8 ball immediately.
Yeah, it started with the returns that really put them inside their opponent territory, and then when Albuquerque got that forced fumble on the goal line, it really set them up in really poor position for their offense, and then it couldn't get going. They had to punt it, and then the return went up until the Albuquerque 13-yard line. So there again, their defense is back against the wall. So it's been one after another of being backed against the wall.
A lot of hurdles that they've had to jump over. And there they got that first down just a moment ago, and then that read is completely snuffed out by number 53 of Atlanta. We're getting to see Niall Diggs getting quite a bit of play in this game coming off the bench. 2nd and 13 now coming up. So Albuquerque goes quickly back to the line of scrimmage. The drop off again, that's proved so well for them in the past. There's Williams again shaking a tackle. And that was a big play, Wade, because that made it a much more manageable third down coming up.
Absolutely correct. Right there. He caught it, picked up 5, or, a little over 5. And look at that, 37 rushing, 38 receiving yards. And so they just need to stick with that. Just those dump offs, those easy plays, pick up the guaranteed yards.
Again, as you said, there it is, that little dump off, and Williams showing that stiff arm there that he is so good at. As a lot of people in Atlanta certainly getting used to seeing both Jason and of course Justin from Minnesota do that little move right there. And between the two of them, they have a very good, formidable backfield that I think we're just going to see continue to grow as this season progresses.
You're right. Sky's the limit for them because, from fullback to both the running backs have really shown us something in this game that they can absolutely be a threat.
This Albuquerque offense looking much better this second half. Nice, efficient throws by Cyrus Jive. That one to Greg Corky for the first down.
And so far, like you mentioned, in this second half, Cyrus Jive has been much more composed, and it's been the tail of the second half because they started that drive, the second half off with the touchdown, and he's not having a bad day. 12 of 18 isn't terrible. He's making the reads when he has to, and so far it just hasn't shown up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, don't let the score fool you. That young man has had a nice day in the quarterback position. Again, dropping it off for Williams. He gets 4. That brings us to 2 minutes left in this third quarter.
And, I'm almost like, hey, I don't care what it looks like. We're getting yards. It's effective. Hey, do it until they stop you.
Mm-hmm. Crossing midfield now and approaching the 40-yard line. Albuquerque has a 2nd and 6. They again keep it on the ground, and that's Williams, they're fighting for a few. Hey, folks, let's quickly mention, break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Breaks GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and much more. Breaks GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors at the Breaks GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on their site, breaksgpt.com. We wanted to make sure to get that in there this third quarter. That pass out of the backfield, oh, so close. Literally, Williams was running for his life. He gets close to the first down. 4th and inches coming up. Do you go for it here, Wade?
I do. I go for it because my kicker hasn't shown anything so far in this game. So I'm going to just try it out. Try to pound it up the middle, maybe. Get a first down that way.
And listen to this crowd. The Hive is literally buzzing. They keep it on the ground. And Atlanta, for the second time today, says no, sir. A tackle by Niall Diggs. 0-2 on 4th downs today, and it has proved costly each and every time.
And Niall Diggs had that kind of head-scratching face mask penalty in the red zone for the defense. But, on this drive, that's 2 behind the line stops that he's made. Great
resiliency by Niall Diggs, coming up with key plays on this drive that puts Albuquerque's offense back on the bench, and BDG Hollywood is now running wild, a gain of 4. With a comfortable lead as we approach the end of this third quarter, 2nd and 6. That was, I believe it was Frosty, it was Napier, with the tackle.
And the secondary for Albuquerque has been flying around, making stops so far, and it's been really stopped some of these plays in their tracks.
This should be the final play of the third quarter. That is Jonathan Reese who gets the carry. 3rd and 6 as the final second tick down here. 3 quarters in the books, and it's Atlanta in control. The Swarm is leading at the Hive, 28-7 over the Albuquerque Adams. Let's hear from Chris Curtis there in our league rights.
The presentation of the Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Cameron Duty here with Wade Phillips and Cameron Irvine in the production booth for you today. Dynasty to throw. And let's just put it this way. He, not to do any kind of pun, if you will, but you start to think about Bryant Dynasty and the dynasty that he has put up here in Atlanta, 9 seasons. This is the best I've ever seen him look out of the gate.
Same, because he's just been near flawless all day. That quarterback rating hovering at 158 and some change, but it's been absolutely phenomenal work by Bryant Dynasty today.
So many positives to take away from this game for Atlanta. Hollywood getting a lot of the carries in. Look at that, rolling over, getting almost enough for the first down before it was Jack Napier who came in on that stop. Take a look at this right here. Going to be close. But yeah, what a day for BDG Hollywood.
Absolutely. They've used him early and often. 15 carries, 66 yards, 27 after the first hit. So he's been definitely involved in this game.
The toss play left side to Siege Falco, who will roll over for the first down. And, this guy's got a lot of work out of the backfield as well. We had the big question coming into the game today, Wade. What would they do? Would it be just the BDG Hollywood show, or would we see a fullback? Would we see Jonathan Reese? We've seen it all, including Siege Falco in the backfield.
Yes, we have. And like you said, it answers a lot of what we had questions about. And now we see Siege Falco gets the ball, BDG Hollywood gets the ball, Reese gets the ball, and so they kind of spread it around fairly balanced for the shares of the load.
Something that opposing teams that will be playing Atlanta will be paying a lot of attention to, considering that is a little bit of a wrinkle that they have shown here, or was a question mark, I should say, coming into this game. But instead, they have answered brilliantly. Falco again for the first down, and this drive continues, and most importantly, it's taking time off the clock.
Indeed, and now that clock continues to go down where Atlanta is firmly in the driver's seat, they believe, and, they can continue to just try to churn out yards on the ground.
Hollywood with the carry, bouncing off defenders like a ping pong ball. and he gets 3. Again, clock continuing to run. Upcoming opponents for Atlanta, it doesn't get any easier. They go, next week straight into action with Minnesota, so that'll be one to look at. That's going to be a tough one. Fort Worth. The good thing for Atlanta is the first 3 games of the season are at home here in the Hive, and home field advantage means a lot when you have a crowd like this behind you, Wade.
Indeed, they've got a great crowd that plays very loud. The decibels are extremely loud in their stadium.
Give to Reese. Stop behind the line. That was a really nice, effective tackle by Albuquerque. 3rd and 8 now on the way, and we will credit number 57, that is Nick Barnett, with the tackle.
Now, Atlanta's got a 3rd and 8, so looking like, going to go to the air.
Dynasty to throw. He's been nearly perfect. That is just the 2nd incompletion of the night. And you can thank number 24, Amar Bryant Jr., for breaking that play up.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Excellent play by the defensive back right there. And like you mentioned, Brian Dynasty, that's only his 2nd incompletion of the day. I want to say he might have had his first incompletion in the 1st quarter. Now it's the 4th quarter, and he has his only 2nd incompletion. So now they did what they needed. They got to the field goal territory, and now they're going to try to kick this in.
Sammy Steele, the long tenured kicker here in Atlanta, knocks it through again. And they extend their lead after 11 play 50-yard drive. That takes up almost 4 minutes of clock time. And that's good. That's a good job by Atlanta getting some more points on the board. But also let's give a call to the Albuquerque defense, who come up with a big stop instead of allowing the touchdown.
You've got that right. I mean, it all starts with Albuquerque not breaking, just bending a little bit, and forces the field goal. But now their offense has got to, make it like the first drive of the 2nd half.
Albuquerque, as we mentioned, a young team continuing to gel right in front of our very eyes. Even in the first game, we've seen a vast difference between the first half and now the 2nd half. Michael Knight's return there. That's a decent return as they set up shop.
Yeah, so I'd like to see them, air it out a bit. I mean, they're down, let's say 4 scores, and so they've just got to open up their can of offense in a hurry.
24 points is the deficit here for Albuquerque. Pressure coming, and Cyrus Jive is completely obliterated. Wolf Highwind was on the prowl.
Wow, yeah, great play by Wolf Highwind. Just destroying Cyrus Jive right there, getting past the offensive linemen, getting back there and bringing him down. And that is not what you want to see if you're Cyrus Jive, because all day, all -1 sack early on had been pretty error-free by the offensive line.
Yeah, Justin Williams, the fullback, trying to cover Highwind there. It just wasn't going to happen. A nice one-handed reception across the middle by Greg Porky. Going to make this 3rd down coming up a little bit more easy to navigate, if you will. But again, still a long way to go here, because 3rd and 8 has been a struggle. 3rd and long has been a struggle for them converting as this game has progressed.
Yeah, we'll see if they get a swing pass right here.
That's what they look for. Instead, it's going to be Jive stepping up. We've seen him do it a couple times. He gets the first. He baseball slides into a bevy of bees, if you will, and he gets the first down, but he paid the price too.
Absolutely, and the coaching staff's like, get down, just slide, please. You're too important to lose if you get banged up, getting knocked out on a slide. But that's a few times today that we've seen him take off, and right there picking up some big yardage.
Yeah, Cyrus Jive showing his speed, showing some feet work. That pass now, or toss rather, is run to the right side. Henry does make the tackle after a 2-yard gain. 5:13 remaining in this 4th quarter. In just a moment, we will talk about what's ahead with the SFL next week. After the convention ends, a lot of more football still left to be played. Handoff to Reynolds, leaps over defender. Ooh, a nice run indeed. One of the best we've seen out of him all day. 3rd and inch is now coming up. They go no huddle, try to get this Atlanta swarm a little bit off kilter. Instead, it's Cyrus Jive, who almost had his head knocked off. He gets rid of it. That was intended for K. Marion. She couldn't come down with the reception, and it's 4th and inches. I kind of question how quick they went back to the line of scrimmage there.
Agreed, because they weren't in the best formation to go no huddle, and right there, Cyrus Jive almost gets clotheslined and then tries to sling it out of the sack attempt, and just nothing, almost intercepted on the pick on the pass batted up.
4th down, that's a good formation on 4th and inches to Jack Wall. The drive continues, and now you start to see the no huddle in an attempt, as we said, to keep Atlanta a little bit off kilter here. That pass incomplete, intended for Williams, and that'll stop the clock. 4:31 in the 4th. Hey, folks, listen. After the convention weekend, Mike Daggs, Gerald Smith, and Matt Wilson kick us off Friday night at the Albuquerque Adams as they take on the Denver Night Wings in their home opener. And our first Monday night spectacular game of the season has the Baltimore Vultures welcoming in Johnny Pickler, Saron Yates, and the Indianapolis Ramblers. Week 2 kicks off Friday, July 19th, right here on the SFL on YouTube. The throw across the middle, complete once more, and the drive will continue. Greg Porky with the reception. Jive doing a nice job. Down the field, the pass in and out of the hands of the intended target, Kay Marion. I didn't know for sure, Wade, who had that when they all kind of disappeared into that bright blue end zone, but it's an incompletion.
Well, that makes 2 of us, because I was waiting for the group to fall down and let me see where the ball ends up, and right there it ends up on the turf. So no harm, no foul.
2nd and 10 as Michael Knight again goes in motion. 4:16 left in this game. Cyrus Jive faces pressure, and there's his first interception of the day. The pressure that was in his face unfortunately made him make a costly mistake, and it's number 36 who comes up with a beautiful INT. That's Brad Franklin.
That was excellent team play by the defensive backs right there. It looked like one of the D-backs might have kind of covered up that window of the passing lane, and then the other defensive back that intercepted it closed that window down, grabbed it, and took off, and now they're at the Atlanta 11. So now it's Atlanta's fully in control and going to try to run this game out.
4:10 remaining in this game. They keep it with Hollywood on the ground. As you said, the intent now is just to chew clock, and that's exactly what we are going to see them do. 3:57 and counting, and what has been a game that has been literally from the first play of the game has been dominated by Atlanta. And you talk about this team and just how pumped they were to come out and play. The initial kickoff that almost went for the touchdown got them all the way down to the Albuquerque 40-yard line, and then it was the first play from scrimmage that went for the touchdown from Dynasty to Highwind, and they've been off to the races ever since.
Yes, they have. And I like to think it has something to do with this new music we've been hearing and the tunnel and stuff. So I think that got them extra pumped.
I know it did us in the broadcast booth. I can tell you I was ready to put my helmet and some eye black on, Wade. I don't know about you, but had me ready, no doubt. I can't imagine what it did for these players.
I saw a brick wall that had my name on it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't tell, folks, we are excited about this SFL season and what is to come. As we mentioned, even the new music that we debuted this weekend here for all the broadcasts. It's an exciting time to be a football fan and an SFL fan, indeed. Love this time of year. Into July, football season getting kicked up, and again, right here in the SFL. We are so excited to bring you what's going to be a fun season 23. 2nd and 4 now coming up as we approach the 2-minute warning. Let's take a look at Albuquerque's upcoming schedule. As they are, without some miracle, they will unfortunately take the loss here in Atlanta. But next week they go to, as we said, back home to play Denver on July the 19th. And that's going to be an interesting game as well. And then they get the bye. So 2 quick games that they get a chance to dissect. They get a break, Wade, to look at it all. And then they come back with a week 4 game where they have to travel to Baltimore.
Yeah, that Baltimore game is going to be tough, but hey, it gives them week 3 to really game plan, see what they did the first 2 weeks of the season that, hey, they like, maybe they don't like. They can correct anything they don't like and really accentuate the good stuff, and then they've got a game plan.
2 minutes remaining in this week 1 matchup. Atlanta on cruise control as the Swarm leads Albuquerque late in this game. Cameron Duty again here with Wade Phillips. It's been a hard-fought game on both sides. A lot of hard hits, a lot of spectacular plays on the ground and throughout the air. A couple more minutes left, and Atlanta will go to 1-0 on the season. That's Beach Falco again running out of that halfback position, and a timeout is now called by Albuquerque.
And so far, yeah, Atlanta has just been playing lights out since the moment the coin toss happened. And right now it looks like they're going to close this out the same way they kind of lived this game and just putting their foot on the gas.
Toss play, right side again to Falco, who we know now will probably be seeing a lot of snaps out of that halfback position, as this season progresses.
And it'll be worth watching, what his stats look like maybe midway through the season, all the way through, just how many yards he can put up as almost kind of like the second, third running back.
Falco again in the backfield. He gets the first down, and that's going to do it, folks. Albuquerque is going to take that final timeout, and because of that, that will allow Atlanta to simply run out the clock from hereafter, and Albuquerque cannot stop it. So Atlanta getting in that favorite formation everybody likes to do, that victory formation.
As the winning coach is something you always love to see, but as when it's coming the other way, it is just something you never like to see. But hey, Albuquerque, give them credit. They played hard, and just a few things changing here and there, and it's a whole different ball game. Atlanta just came out of the gates going so hard and fast that two plays in, we're already 7-0. So it's just a hard fought game by both these teams, but Atlanta just had the better day.
Victory formation as we get down to it here. A minute remaining in this 4th quarter. As we said, folks, all of you who are enjoying this SFL weekend, those of you who are at the convention having a great time, we know that it's just a fun time for all. And for those of you who may be watching at home with a snack or maybe with your family all around the television, we just want to thank you for joining us, for being a part of this game as we count down the final minutes. Atlanta, if you're an Atlanta fan out there, you got a lot to be excited for. And if you're an Albuquerque fan, a lot to continue to improve and to gain upon, but a lot of exciting points too.
That's one thing about Albuquerque. They've got a lot of young players, so really the sky is the limit. If they can stay together and continue to build on their season and continue to improve, they will be looking very good in a short time.
And that's going to do it. The clock is at zeros. Atlanta has their first victory of the season. A dominating win, 31-7 over the Albuquerque Adams. As we take a look at the coaches and players there, giving each other a little cordial congratulations as they come off the field. Wade, give us your final thoughts.
In the end, it was the experience of Atlanta getting the win over the youthful exuberance of Albuquerque, but really, just it started from the moment that the coin flip happened that Atlanta was just coming out to play. I mean, Bryant Dynasty was just on fire all day, and the run game, look at that. 11 for Reese, 19 for Hollywood carries, that is, and over 100 yards for Atlanta. Albuquerque not doing so well on the ground, but not from lack of trying. Ultimately, their best plays were those little swing passes to the the running backs. But ultimately, Atlanta gets the victory, but Albuquerque has a lot to look forward to.
Final score from the Hive: Atlanta 31, Albuquerque 7. Thank you so much for watching. We have appreciated you, and we hope you've enjoyed this broadcast of the SFL on YouTube. For Cameron Irvine in the production booth, and for my buddy Wade Phillips, my name is Cameron Duty, wishing you a good rest of your day, and join us next time for more SFL action right here on YouTube. Have a good day.